You've asked, and I'm about to answer. This is the MilesLargeTV AMA 10,000 subscriber, 20,000 follower special. So about a week ago, I asked you guys to ask me some questions in honor of reaching 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and 20,000 followers on TikTok. And you know, you guys asked a lot of questions, quite a few. I was expecting about 20 responses. I got 200, so there is that. I will be answering just about every single question that I saw in this video, so it might be a little bit long, but you know, I'll break it up into different categories so you can just kind of skip through it if you'd like to see look for your question or just like look around for anything. And I hope this is you know, valuable knowledge or entertaining in some way. But anyways, let's just dive right into it, starting with the most asked questions that I got.
How'd you get into music and guitar?
How I got into music is a bit different about how I got into guitar. I remember when I was, you know, very young, I remember listening to like Pink Floyd, Us and Them, like on my parents' stereo, and just like different, you know, songs and things from the record collection that stuck out to me. I remember like Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin was another one. I feel like that was like sort of my first introduction into music. And you know, as I grew older, I wasn't really like into it, but I remember one day I was kind of digging through our closet, still very young, I think I must have been like 8 or something. And I found my dad's old saxophone because he used to play saxophone. And when it came time to join a school band, I decided that I wanted to play the saxophone. I wanted to play my dad's old saxophone. And so I played in school band for about 8 years. And at some point during those 8 years, I decided to pick up a guitar because I was really into Guitar Hero. After I played the game a lot, by extension, I guess the next step was to just get a guitar and play guitar. And I don't really remember playing it that much, you know, upon first getting it, like right away, not really being immediately sort of enamored by it. But I remember when I got to high school, I was kind of in a group of friends. They all really liked metal music and Metallica and like System of a Down and stuff like that. And you know, I was just kind of like part of the friend group, even though it wasn't really like the type of music that I was like super into. But yeah, so basically kind of just started to play because like my friends around me started to play and stuff like that, so yeah.
Since when or how long have you been playing guitar?
So I've been playing guitar for about, I want to say 16 or 17 years now. It's kind of hard to keep track now because it's, you know, been so long. I'm definitely not the greatest guitar player that ever lived, but you know, I try my best, and I guess that's what counts, I suppose.
What are some of your favorite bands?
My favorite band is Radiohead, and I've said that before. As far as like bands that aren't Radiohead, I really love Number Girl, The Pillows, Zazen Boys, Pink Floyd, and like Black Sabbath.
Who are your favorite guitar players and who's influenced you the most?
I think the one that has influenced me the most over the years is Johnny Greenwood. I mean, he's just my favorite guitar player and my favorite band, of course. But as far as others, I would say like Jack White, especially when I was starting out. Jack White and Jimmy Page were probably ones that basically taught me how to play guitar, just, you know, learning their songs. David Gilmour would be a great one, and Tony Iommi, and also Mukai Shutok, who's the frontman of Number Girl.
Are you in a band, or do you have any live music projects?
Yeah, so I actually write and record my own music that you can listen to on Bandcamp and Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever. I also have a music project with a friend called American Casualties. We have like a 5-track EP we released last year. I haven't done too much recording recently because basically all my focus has been on content and just like promotion, basically, of my old stuff. But I do have projects in the works that I do want to do at some point. As far as live bands go, I have played in live bands in the past, and I would want to in the future. I feel like that's kind of the ultimate goal at some point. But yeah, I just feel like I'm really focused on this right now. I kind of want to just create more of an audience before I start to, you know, branch out and stuff. And I'd like to monetize this content if possible. So yeah, it would require a lot more of an audience than I have, but you know, we'll get there.
What's your favorite guitar to play?
I don't know. I mean, it's basically between the two that I play most of the time, which is the Yamaha Pacifica and the Fender Jaguar Classic Player HH. Today I'm feeling the Pacifica. I think that it's really nice. The neck is very slim, and it's very smooth, and it's just easy to just like run up and down. I think the only problem it has currently is it needs a new nut to like slightly raise the strings at the bridge. But other than that, yeah, I think I love that one the most in this moment. If I had a guitar that was like a combination of both, that would be perfect.
What are some of your favorite pedals?
I've always said that the whammy pedal is my favorite pedal of all time, but I'm starting to think that that's not the case. I've had a Bad Monkey for like over a decade now, and I kind of have been getting into that recently a lot more. But I think overall, the Son of Hyde, which is I have on my board, it's like a clone of a Marshall Shredmaster. That's probably my favorite that I've played.
Can we get a tour of your pedal board?
Yeah, so I've done a pedal board tour on TikTok, but I actually do want to start doing long form content for YouTube. and starting with a tour of my pedal board and basically just kind of going through each pedal, saying what I like about it and stuff, just talking about how I use it, and maybe just kind of demoing some different sounds that I like. But yeah, at some point, it would probably be the first long form video I would do, and I'm actually working on the script for it.
What's your biggest piece of advice starting out on guitar and recording, and also first pedal suggestion?
So my two biggest pieces of advice I always like to give, no matter what you're learning or going through in life, are just practice and consistency. I feel like those both will take you a very long way, just being very consistent and being very well practiced. As far as like recording and stuff, I mean, that's one thing where I feel like you just have to do it more and more, and just kind of start to like become familiar with the recording process, become familiar with like your DAW, just trying out different things and experimenting. That will also take you a very long way as well. Let's see, as far as the pedal, I'm kind of biased when it comes to this, and I'm not really sure, it kind of just depends on what kind of music you want to play. But if you're kind of, playing this type of music that I play a lot in my content and stuff, I mean, I recommend a Boss DS1 that's kind of good, or a Blues Driver is great as well. Just something with like a dirt pedal, like something super simple.
What are your hobbies?
Besides music, I love to play video games. I have done a couple sort of video game skits and stuff. And aside from that, I would say probably film photography would be like the next big one.
How many different instruments do you play?
Okay, so guitar, bass, drums, keys, saxophone, ukulele, vocals, I guess if you count that, mandolin, recorder. I mean, it just goes on, really.
How tall are you? And now that I'm editing, I can see you asked this twice.
I mean, I'm like 9'15".
Do you have a practice routine?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So I've been playing for a very long time, but I don't really have a good practice routine. That's probably why I'm not as good as I could be. I recommend you actually get a good practice routine. That's good. Basically, what I like to do is I just like to learn different songs that I like to listen to and like to think would be cool to play on guitar. And yeah, basically just I learn it all by ear. So I mean, that's kind of what helps me for that.
What keeps you motivated to make content?
Honestly, it's been you guys. Like, if I wasn't as big as I have been now, after 1 year starting, I probably would have just killed the channel silently. But like, yeah, I feel like audience, talking to an audience and having an audience is really nice for this kind of thing. And I'm really grateful that you guys enjoy my content and stuff. So yeah, here's some questions that you guys asked that are just pretty much guitar related and guitar oriented.
If you could only play one guitar for the rest of your life, what would it be?
If I could use one guitar for the rest of my life, I mean, my dream guitar right now currently is like the Fender American Ultra Telecaster in Texas T with the white binding. I mean, that would be like the dream guitar for me right now, because I feel like it's a perfect combination of what I like about my Jaguar and what I like about my Pacifica Fender. Hey, if you're watching this,
what is more fun to play, acoustic or electric?
I mean, I'm heavily biased, but definitely electric.
Do you prefer alternate tunings over standard?
As the years go by, I feel like I do prefer more alternative types of tuning. I mean, there's like an album I'm kind of working on right now, and a lot of the songs are in drop D and C sharp standard, and then one I just kind of like made up and found, which is like Dada B.
What is the best beginner guitar that you own?
Definitely my Yamaha Pacifica 112V. It's the sticker guitar you see a lot. It's like, it looks like a Strat, but it's not really a Strat. It's my first guitar. It's lasted me this long, so.
Best guitar chord of all time?
I'm thinking today it's like a C7 or whatever this chord is.
Can I have your Jaguar, and please give me your Jaguar?
Nice try, but no.
Tips for grungy bass tones?
I would probably recommend like a overdrive pedal, I think. A fuzz would be cool too, but I feel like there's too much like fizziness when you use a fuzz with a bass. So yeah, I probably would just recommend like an overdrive.
What is your dream guitar style and why?
I mean, there's that Fender American Ultra Telecaster in Texas T with the white binding.
What's your most expensive guitar gear from your entire collection? Thanks.
Probably this guitar, but for some reason the Bad Monkey pedal is being like hyperinflated in price, so I guess possibly that.
Where did you start learning from? Online, book, or teacher?
I started really learning from a guy. Basically my dad would like mow his lawn, and in exchange he would give me like a lesson or two. I didn't really like stay motivated, I guess, at the time, but later I basically became just self-taught.
How many guitars do you have?
I have 6 guitars, so I have 2 electrics, I have 1 bass, I have an acoustic electric, and I have 2 acoustics.
Biggest inspirations in your life? Also favorite Smashing Pumpkins song?
Biggest inspirations in my life? Just some of my favorite bands, I feel like, and this backstories about how they got successful and stuff. Maybe certain teachers that I had over the years, like, band directors and different things like that. Favorite Smashing Pumpkins song? Probably like Mayonnaise.
Which do you prefer, a Jazzmaster or a Jaguar?
I mean, I feel obligated to say Jaguar because I've just played one for years, but, I do like Jazzmasters, and I do want to get one at some point.
What gear and equipments do you need to start playing electric?
All you need is an electric guitar, a cable, and an amp.
What would you recommend for a good starter guitar or guitar in general?
I mean, again, I'm biased, but the Yamaha Pacifica 112V is a really great starter guitar, and it's a really good guitar for the money money that you pay for it. Here's some questions about music and content creation that you guys have asked.
Could I remix one of your songs?
I mean, if you tag me in it and you give me royalties, it becomes big. Yeah, sure, I don't care.
Will you have a collab with Hideo Kojima, your twin, in the future?
I mean, if I got big enough to be like an actual celebrity, it would be no greater honor to be flown out to Kojima Studios in Shinagawa and just be scanned into one of his games.
Would you ever be open to music or content collabs in the future?
I feel like I'm pretty open to music and content collaborations, but the thing is, I want to do it with like the right people and the right person, because I do get a lot of requests to do stuff, but it's kind of like, you know, basically, hey, will you do all the work while I like take partial credit for it? So I don't really want to just like, you know, do stuff for free or whatever. I want to do something that would be like mutually beneficial to like me and whoever I'm working with. So yeah.
Is there anything specific you did while making videos to help grow your audience? And thanks.
I mean, not really. I feel like for me, you know, I just try to be my genuine self and try to just make things that I would like or I think people would like. I never try to compromise like as far as like what I want to make. I never try to do stuff that other people tell me to do, or I never try to do trends either. So yeah, I don't know.
Will you do any more acoustic guitar content in the future? Maybe some like Radiohead songs?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I come up with a good enough idea for like acoustic stuff, yeah, I'll do it.
Would you ever become a guitar teacher or sell an online course?
It's kind of tough because I don't necessarily want to be a guy who's known for just like guitar tutorials or like being a teacher like online or whatever. I'd rather be known for like the content that I make and like the music that I make. But I mean, that being said, if this was like a side thing to do that people would like, you know, pay for and stuff, I mean, yeah, I guess so, maybe.
How well does each platform pay you?
Not enough, Smoothie Biscuit, not enough.
Can you do a cover of Electric Counterpoint by Steve Reich, just like Johnny Greenwood?
I'm gonna say no, but it's not really to you specifically. It's basically because I don't really like to take requests unless it's something I already know how to do. I feel like it's kind of an unspoken rule on my channel. I just prefer to, you know, play whatever I want.
You should play the song from Haruhi, God knows.
Luckily for you, I already have, but I do want to make like a sort of horizontal video for it for YouTube.
How do you go about writing songs and stuff, music-wise and lyric-wise?
Generally, I feel like I just stumble upon random things that I like as far as chord progressions, riffs, arpeggios, whatever. Yeah, it's just kind of like random, and you just kind of like have to, in the moment, remember to like record it so you can save it for later. As far as lyrics, it's also kind of similar to where if I remember something or if I think of something that sounds cool, like I immediately have to write it down, otherwise it's just gonna be gone forever.
What's the main inspirations behind your Frenetic album?
I feel like the album was kind of just inspired by like the speed of the world, and once I finished writing Manic, I feel like I just want to make an album that really showcased my guitar talent, I suppose. And so yeah, I just wanted to make an album that was really fast and very similar songs to the fast-paced sound of like Manic, basically.
How did you make Manic on your Frenetic album? It's such a cool song. Thank you.
I was just sitting on the floor in my apartment in Japan trying to learn a song, and I was doing pretty poorly at learning it, and basically just kind of gave up. But the song is kind of similar to Manic. I'm not going to say what it is, but basically the more I just kind of like fooled around with the scale and the kind of like the speed and stuff, I was just kind of like just developed the first riff that you hear in Manic. And then I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I just kept adding stuff onto it, just like, come on, like, don't let the inspiration die, just add more stuff to it. And then that's basically what happened.
Number 1, would you be interested in making a song for my indie game?
I mean, you can like message me with the details, but I'm gonna just say probably not, just because I don't really like to do stuff for free, so.
Are you in the process of making any more original music, or do you have plans to?
I always have different ideas for original music. Right now I have an album that's kind of based off of sort of like my experience of studying abroad in Japan. That's like my number 1 I want to like get out fast. I don't know when it will come out though. I'm not really working too hard on it because I'm doing all this content stuff. I also have an idea for like kind of like a more ambient sounding album, like a guitar for yoga, so to speak, I guess. And aside from that, I do want to do like a follow-up to Frenetic as well, and a follow-up to the American Casualties first EP at some point as well. But yeah, I know it's a lot, and I don't have time for it, but eventually, hopefully, it'll all come out.
How much money do I have to pay you to do a cover of Long Season by Fishmans?
I'll probably get to Fishmans at some point, because I've been told that I would really like them. I just haven't really gotten around to listening to them, because I'm lazy.
Make a Ride on Shooting Star full tutorial or cover, but without any expression.
I've already done a tutorial for this, so just, I don't know, look it up, I guess.
What song did you love covering the most, or what is your favorite song to play on guitar?
I'd probably say like the Persona 4 song, Reach Out to the Truth, or maybe like Just by Radiohead. Basically any Radiohead song is always a treat for me, I feel like. So
what band influences your music the most?
Probably Radiohead, just because they're my favorite. Although, you know, for my latest project that I'm working on, probably stuff like The Pillows and Number Girl and like Japanese alternative bands from the 90s.
Where do you get most of your inspiration and spaz to create your music from?
I have no idea, to be honest. I feel like I worry constantly about running out of ideas, but I never really do. Or if I do run out of ideas, I'm pretty soon to think of like different things. So yeah, I don't know. Up next are a lot of questions about my favorite things. You guys asked me what is your favorite X for a lot of different things, so let's answer them.
Do you listen to Green Day? If so, what's your favorite song from your favorite album?
You must be new to my content, but yes, I do like Green Day. I would say my favorite album would either be Nimrod or 39 Smooth, and my favorite songs of those would be The Grouch or Going to Pasalaka.
Who's your favorite overall musician from the 90s?
I mean, probably Johnny Greenwood.
What's your favorite album of all time?
Definitely OK Computer. I've gone on record saying that before.
Favorite Alice in Chains song and or album?
Probably my favorite song would be Rooster or As Basic As It Sounds, Them Bones.
Favorite Arctic Monkeys track / album?
I don't really know the Arctic Monkeys well enough to say a favorite.
Who are your favorite bassists? And do you like any video game music?
I do like video game music, and for bassists, I mean, probably like Roger Waters or that one guy who played bass on that After 5 Clash album, that City Pop album. That guy's good.
What's your favorite color?
I feel like when I was younger, people really associated me with the color blue, and eventually I feel like I just kind of prefer like black or white or something, but all that being said, yeah, it's probably blue.
Favorite egg dish?
Probably like an omelet, like an American omelet, not a French omelet, but like put lots of milk in it so it's like big and fluffy.
What's your favorite Fooly Cooly episode?
Full Swing, episode 4, because nothing will happen if you don't swing the bat.
What's your favorite food? But like, what's your favorite meal and what's your favorite snack?
I mean, favorite food would probably be pizza. I mean, I love like a pepperoni pizza with like bell peppers and onions on it, garlic. I also like corn on it and potatoes on it as well. As far as snack, I mean, does chocolate count? I feel like I'm a big chocolate lover, so yeah.
What's your favorite video game?
For the longest time now, I've said Bayonetta is my favorite game, but I'm kind of leaning towards that or Super Metroid.
What's your favorite genre of music to play and also something you normally don't cover on TikTok?
My favorite genre to play would probably be like 90s alternative rock, but as far as favorite genre that like I haven't really played on TikTok a lot, I would say maybe like Japanese city pop. I feel like I just haven't really learned a lot of songs in that on guitar, so yeah.
What has been a guitar pedal that you've heard a few seconds and immediately fell in love with it?
I mean, for me, when I first got it, the Bad Monkey was like the perfect overdrive sound that I had been thinking of, and then for some reason I just didn't like it and didn't play it for years.
What's your favorite style of guitar? Body shape?
I really love the Fender offset shape. I feel like it's very comfortable to play, and it's just like, I don't know, it just feels right to like sit in my lap. But that being said, that Fender American Ultra Telecaster with the Texas T and the white binding, that looks pretty good.
What are some of your favorite live venues that you've ever been to?
When I studied abroad in Japan, on the very last day I was in Japan, I got to see Number Girl live, and that was in Toyosu Pit, and that was probably one of my favorite venues just because like it's so nice. It's by the Japanese waterfront in Tokyo Bay, and it's just like a really fantastic like setting for a show.
Fave Midori songs?
So it would probably be either Yukiko-san or track 6 on this album.
What's your favorite Nirvana song?
It's either Drain You or Heart Shaped Box.
Favorite Nirvana demos?
I had one in mind when I first read this comment. I think it was Clean Up Before She Comes.
What's your favorite Persona game?
Favorite Persona game would probably be 3, but 5 would be better in terms of gameplay.
Favorite Persona song?
Reach Out to the Truth from Persona 4.
What's your favorite guitar pickup?
Single coils now, but if you asked me when I was younger, I'd probably say Humbuckers.
What's your favorite album from The Pillows?
Little Busters.
What's your favorite song from The Pillows?
I would say between Hybrid Rainbow and One Life, although recently I've been listening to a lot of Swanky Street.
What is your favorite Pink Floyd album?
At risk of sounding basic, I'm gonna say Dark Side of the Moon, although recently I've been listening to a lot of Animals because I have this the 2018 remix box set thing.
Favorite types of questions?
Anything that allows me to elaborate and not just answer it in like 1 or 2 words, I guess.
What is your favorite Rage Against the Machine album?
I like the debut for the longest time, but I'm starting to lean more towards Evil Empire now.
Favorite Resident Evil game?
Resident Evil Remake, but after playing Resident Evil 4 Remake, I'm starting to lean towards that.
What's your favorite Radiohead album and favorite songs from the album and also your least favorite album?
Obviously favorite is OK Computer. That being said though, I've always said my favorite Radiohead album is like a tie between OK Computer, Kid A, The Bends, and In Rainbows, with OK Computer just sitting slightly above the rest for me. As far as favorite songs from those albums, OK Computer would be Let Down. The Bends would be Just. Kid A would probably be like the title track or maybe Optimistic, and In Rainbows would be Reckoner. As far as my least favorite Radiohead album, if the basement version of The King of Limbs counts as like it could be The King of Limbs, then Pablo Honey.
What's your favorite Radiohead song? And then Vi Anybody says, tell us your favorite and least favorite, but don't say which is which.
This is gonna be so obvious, but it's gonna be Molasses and Just.
What's your favorite Weezer song / album?
I'm the type of Weezer fan that only likes Blue or Pinkerton. As far as favorite songs from those albums, maybe like Surf Wax America and Falling For You.
Favorite Zelda game?
Twilight Princess.
What's your favorite Boris album and song?
Favorite Boris album is a tie between Flood and Heavy Rocks 2002. And as far as favorite songs from both of those would be like Flood 3 and Death Valley.
What's your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game?
I've never actually played a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
What are some of your favorite lyrics from any genre?
So my favorite lyrics/lyricist is Yoshiko Sai. She is a poet from Nara Prefecture turned into a musician. And basically, she thought that if she made her poems into songs, that she would be able to reach a broader audience, and I think that's really cool. And a lot of her lyrics I feel like I really resonate with, just listening to it and what I know of Japanese and like translating it myself. I think they're really cool.
What's your GOAT of guitar riffs?
It's got to be like War Pigs by Black Sabbath, in my opinion.
Who is your favorite solo artist?
Probably like David Bowie or Neil Young.
What's your favorite thing about Radiohead?
I love that every album sounds different, and it's just so their catalog is very diverse, and you can just kind of find something that you really like and resonate with, or if you're like me, you just like it all. There's a lot of questions about my thoughts on certain things, so here's some questions about that.
What are some good Japanese bands like The Pillows, and also what do you want to cover or talk about?
My favorite Japanese bands besides The Pillows would probably be Zazen Boys, Number Girl, Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, and maybe like Boris. Yeah.
What's the best Oasis song?
None of them, because I don't like Oasis.
What is the best Persona game?
I mean, I'm just gonna say 3 because it's my favorite, but again, 5 is really good.
Best Yakuza game?
I've not actually played a Yakuza game, but I have been meaning to get into it.
Do you like pop punk or punk music?
I prefer punk more than pop punk, but yes, I like both.
If you had to choose one album to listen to for the rest of your life, which band would it be?
I mean, the easy answer is just OK Computer for me, but at the same time, I want to pick something weird, like maybe like The Planets by Holst, the Colin Davis version.
I'm trying to get into Radiohead. Would you recommend OK Computer or the Bends?
As much as I love OK Computer, I would probably recommend the Bends first.
What are your thoughts on bass players?
I feel like this is setting me up to say something funny about bass players, but no, bass players are good.
Thoughts on Bloodthirsty Butchers?
I like them.
What's your opinion on Butthole Surfers if you know of them? And what's your opinion on Death Grips if you know of them?
Butthole Surfers is cool, and Death Grips is also cool.
Have you ever listened to Car Seat Headrest? If so, what do you think about it?
I did do a couple videos on TikTok of listening to Car Seat Headrest, and basically just my takeaway was I think the music is very well put together, and I think the musicianship is good, but I didn't really enjoy the music.
Opinions on White Pony by Deftones?
I don't know, I'm not really a big Deftones fan, so probably not good.
Do you like Deer and Grey?
I haven't really listened to them, to be honest.
Do you like Feeble Little Horse? I need to know.
I've never heard of this thing in my life.
Opinions on Fiddlar?
I did look up to see that this was actually a band, because some people have been posting this band in my comments, but I don't really know because I haven't really listened to them.
Thoughts on Godspeed You Black Emperor? I'm not answering that last one.
I basically think I listened to this at someone's request. I thought probably it was fine, but I don't really remember that much, and I haven't listened to it since.
Do you like Linkin Park?
Not really, but they're fine.
You fuck with Super Mario?
I actually used to say that Super Mario World was my favorite game of all time, so.
Thoughts on the best Persona 3 social link? Bebe?
I don't really care for Bebe, but my opinion is that probably Mitsuru would be my favorite, or I guess.
Miles, your opinion on Persona 3 Reload?
I haven't actually played Persona 3 Reload yet, basically because I've just been busy working on content and stuff. But I did have the idea a couple weeks ago that, hey, maybe it'd be cool to do my first time playing through it, and just on stream for everyone to see. Just to begin doing video game streams from time to time. Just let me know if you think that'd be cool in the comments or not. I don't know.
Thoughts on physical media? Cassette tapes, vinyl, VHS, etc. Outdated? Vintage? Neat?
I like how you left this comment on a video of me sitting in front of my my CDs and my vinyl collection. But yeah, I think I actually prefer physical media to digital. I think it's kind of weird that, just owning a digital copy doesn't mean you actually own it now, which is weird. But that being said, yeah, I really like vinyl records. I like to listen to vinyl records. I'm kind of a bit of an audiophile snob. Not crazy, but, to an extent. And yeah, I just like to have physical things. I think it's cool.
What do you think about Radiohead?
They are my favorite band of all time.
What are your thoughts on shoegaze?
I like shoegaze. I'm not really the biggest shoegaze fan, but my friend Molly, who's the bass player of American Casualties, they love shoegaze.
Do you FW Skibidi Minion?
Not really.
Have you heard of Syd Barrett?
Well, I've been a Pink Floyd fan since I was 3 years old, so yeah, I've heard of them.
Do you listen to The Strokes? Feels like you'd like them.
I've listened to them a little bit, and from what I heard I liked, but I haven't really listened to them a lot.
What do you think about the band Title Fight?
I think they are a band that exists that I have not listened to.
What are your thoughts on Yura Yura Teikoku?
I've never heard of this band, if they're even a band.
Top 3 Persona confidants, and then someone replies the Doctor, Akechi, and probably Maruki.
Confidants makes me think Persona 5, so the Doctor is actually right. I would put the Doctor on my top 3. Maybe Yusuke and, I don't know, Kawakami, I guess.
Top 10/top any number favorite albums?
In no particular order, we got Flood by Boris, Daft Punk Discovery, Magical by Junko Ohashi, Sapuke by Number Girl, Little Busters by The Pillows, The Wall by Pink Floyd, OK Computer by Radiohead, the Blade Runner soundtrack, Miko by Yoshiko Sai, and Zazen Boys' self-titled album.
Your top 10 Japanese bands of all time at the moment.
We got The Pillows, Number Girl, Boris, Yoshiko Sai, Bloodthirsty Butchers, Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, Zazen Boys, did I say The Pillows already? Jeez. Supercar, Cassiopeia, and Midori.
Top 10 lesser-known albums.
I wrote a list real quick, so let's see. We got Miko by Yoshiko Sai, Nightlights by Jerry Mulligan, Message by Grimm, For the Whole World to See by Death, Zazen Boys' debut album, World Music by Goat, Every Day I'm Less Zen by Shut Ups, Takotsubo by L'Imperatrice, Tokyo Sniper by Ryu Senkei, and Panthalassa, the compilation by Miles Davis.
What band do you think is the most underrated?
So this might sound weird, but I'm gonna say The Police. And I know it sounds weird because The Police is like literally one of the biggest bands in the world. But I never really hear anyone talk about them besides like their big hits like Message in a Bottle and Every Breath You Take and stuff like that. Aside from The Police though, if that doesn't count as an answer, I would say Zazen Boys for sure. Here's just a random array of questions that are miscellaneous questions that you guys asked.
Can you recommend me some animus?
Some of my favorites would be Fully Cooley would be number 1, Cowboy Bebop, Perfect Blue, the Monogatari series, and Chainsaw Man.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'd say I'm happy.
Are you freaky?
Yeah? No? I don't know.
What's the best corn dog you've ever had?
Probably something at like a baseball game, although I'm not really a big corn dog fan. I rather prefer hot dogs, which I would say Costco has the best hot dogs.
Can you do a backflip?
I don't know, let's try. No, I'm not even gonna try.
Congrats on the followers, man.
That is not a question, TL, but thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Does it swing?
Nope.
Greatest karaoke song?
My favorites to pick for karaoke are usually just anything by Queen. I usually go for Don't Stop Me Now or Bohemian Rhapsody. And the reason why I pick that is because it's something that everyone knows. Usually if I'm at karaoke, I'm with a bunch of friends. It's something everyone knows and everyone likes and just can sing along to. And it's fun to sing together, so yeah.
Have you heard of the band CQ or Honey Dip?
Nope.
Is there a line for heavy music that you can't cross because you think it's too much?
Yeah, but it might not be in the way that you would think. So like, I don't really care if it's like, doom or sludge or like heavy metal or black metal or like anything like that. Like the line I can't cross is like a weird like side tangent, which is kind of like post-hardcore and like sort of like Sleeping with Sirens and that kind of music. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like the melody doesn't really like do it for me. And I just feel like the lyrics or like the singing vocal style sometimes is kind of like weird. And basically, I guess by extension, like some certain like new metal bands, I don't really cross into that or listen to that stuff because I just don't really like it that much. But yeah.
Hottest Radiohead member?
I would say Ed.
How do you feel about the TikTokification of certain music?
I did comment on this not too long ago. I would say that my overall thought would be more of a positive one in that I feel like there's been a lot of artists and music that I never would have discovered if it wasn't for TikTok and like trending sounds and stuff. But I can see how people get annoyed by it. I can see how like the sort of really short sound bite is like, screwing with people's attention spans and things like that. For me, I've always been more of an album listener. So I sit down and listen to a whole album all the way through generally. I know that people might not really have the patience for that anymore and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like it's good for exposure for sure. And ultimately, I certainly wouldn't complain if one of my songs ended up trending on TikTok.
How have you been recently?
I've been a bit tired, but overall, I've been pretty good.
If you could go on tour with any band or an artist that's ever made music, who would it be?
Any artist I could tour with? I would say probably like Taylor Swift, because then, you get the most exposure that way and you become successful maybe. But that being said, if I was being like really genuine, probably my friend's Funiki.
I love you, Miles.
That's not a question, but thank you.
Is Aigis best girl?
I mean, as someone who has an Aigis figure and it's like my only figure, I feel obligated to say yes to this.
Is it pink?
Yeah, I've got this question a few times, but it's actually a metallic silver color. As you can see on the back, it's very obvious what kind of color this guitar is. So,
during your time in Japan, was there any particular phrases or words that you learned that you found interesting or may not have learned otherwise?
I think the number one would probably be mendokusai, which means this too troublesome or bothersome, really. And so it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, I have a lot of homework to do when I get home. It's like, oh, it's mendokusai, that sort of thing. My friends and I would say it a lot.
Johnny Greenwood or Graham Coxon?
Johnny Greenwood.
When is the Joker cosplay happening? Ooh.
When you donate to the Ko-Fi. I mean, if you actually donate for this and like specify if there's like a note or something, or you can like message me or something, yeah, I mean, I'll buy it and wear it and play Persona music in it.
Dude, getting 20K on TT in that time frame without showing off a breathtaking booty or bosom is an amazing feat.
Josh, you know that's not a question, but thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
What was it like making Death Stranding, Mr. Kojima?
Look, I don't want to like burst your bubble or anything, but I'm not actually Hideo Kojima.
Do you think a squirrel will ever see a deep sea sea creature?
I mean, have you seen that video of that dog underwater? I mean, I feel like at this point anything's possible.
Do you FW mom jeans or modern baseball?
I haven't really listened to either.
Hey, no question, but I just wanted to say your channel is awesome. Hope nothing but continued success.
Thank you very much, Joe.
What video game has the most fun music to play on guitar?
I'm definitely biased, but I would say Persona because it's like the soundtrack I've covered the most.
Weezer is the worst band ever. Change my mind.
That's not a question, and I will not be changing your mind.
Where'd you park the car? Why are so many indie artists terrible people?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have no idea why. You know, if I ever become like an indie artist, if I ever become big enough to call myself an indie artist, I will do my very best not to become one of those people.
Are you the real Will Toledo?
Nope.
Why did you study abroad in Japan?
Basically because I just had the opportunity to. I just looked at my, my sort of schedule and like saw what kind of requirements I needed. And what I thought about what I wanted to do, I wanted to study more Japanese. And I was like, hey, it would be really cool if I could make this work. And just somehow I was able to do it. So yeah. Here's a few multi-part questions that people asked. It was kind of complicated to fit them in with others. So yeah.
Do you like Lane? Ever listen to any of these bands?
Let's all love Lane. And yes, I have listened to some of those bands.
Do you ever plan on covering music in languages other than English and Japanese? Will you do covers with drums or other instruments in the future? And will you continue to make Makima vids? And also, thank you.
So technically I already have. I did record an EP by a French band before in the past, like a disco space funk band. I'm not going to try to say the name, but here's the name. There's also a song I want to do called La Camisa Negra. I don't know if I've done it already, if it's out by the time of recording this or not, but anyways, yeah, that will be done at some point. For number 2, it's really hard for me to do covers of drums because I am not a good drummer for starters, and the other main reason why is because I don't really have good equipment to record like a drum set, like a full-on drum set. I do have a drum set. It's not a very good drum set, but main problem is their equipment to record it. And for Makima videos, yeah, I mean, if she wants to continue to do that, that would be fine.
In your opinion, what is the best Persona friend group and why? Why no Gibson/PRS style guitar? What attracts you to the Fender style so much? Favorite 90s alternative rock band? And Blur or Oasis?
I feel like the Persona 4 friend group is pretty tight-knit and close, so I'd say that for number 1. For number 2, I already answered that. For number 3, basically no Gibson or PRS style. I'm not really a fan of, like, I guess the PRS, like, shapes and styles. For Gibson, I mean, I do want, like, an SG at some point. That would be really cool to have, I think, but I'm not really like rushing to go buy one. It's not my dream guitar ever, but I do like SGs. The main reason why I don't have play Gibson is just because, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of expensive for what you get, and I feel like for what I bought for my Jaguar, you could only get like a really low end Gibson. So yeah, I don't know. Favorite 90s alternative rock? I mean Radiohead, and if not Radiohead, Number Girl. And for Blur or Oasis, I don't know, neither, but I guess I feel more partial to Blur for sure.
If you could have your own custom guitar, what would it be? What band was your gateway drug into rock? And best Persona awakening throughout the whole series?
If you could have any custom guitar, what would it be? I mean, hey, there is that Fender American Ultra Telecaster in the Texas T with a white binding. Fender, if you're watching this, what band was your gateway drug into rock? I guess probably like Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, maybe. Best Persona awakening. I just feel like 3 is the best one. I mean, just like, it's just so visually like crazy what's going on in that cutscene. So yeah.
What band or artist made you want to play guitar, and who introduced you to your favorite genre of music?
Honestly, probably Nirvana, actually. I feel like Nirvana, when I started listening to Nirvana, that's when I really started to get into guitar. Number 3, I'd just probably say like my dad or my mom.
What music currently inspires you the most?
This one I pretty much answered all except for what inspires you the most currently, and I would say probably just like any sort of 90s Japanese alternative rock, Number Girl, The Pillows. We finally made it to the end. Thank you very much for your questions. I really enjoyed reading them all and answering them. I think you guys are really cool, a really cool audience, and I really appreciate you guys. If you'd like to support the channel, there's multiple ways you can do so. You can check out my music on Spotify and Apple Music and Bandcamp, YouTube, etc. Stream it, buy it, download it, whatever. You can donate to my Ko-Fi. I don't really have an incentive for that yet, but I'm hoping at some point I will. I also want to do like memberships for YouTube, maybe have like some emotes and stuff, cool stuff if I start to do streams. Like I said, the game streams, if you'd like to see me stream Persona 3 Reload or just like anything like that, just hang out and play video games, I think that would be fun. And of course, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys as far as being such a cool audience and interacting and stuff. I'll continue to make more content, be it long form stuff on this channel, more shorts, more music coming out at some point. Yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you very much.